Are you on pace to finish Val's month-long milestone event? Who are these secret defenders? What are they going to be used for? And are you already done with blitzing? We're talking about all of these things and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I am joined by my brother Pathfinder Gaming. It has been a while, and if you're ready for it, brother Pathfinder, let them know what to do.
Let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hello. What is up, Valley Maniacs? Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. Hope you're having a great day. Val's month-long milestone. It doesn't look like a lot of free-to-play players are going to finish this. Are you on pace, or are you going to miss all these items? Who are these new secret defenders? It is a new flashy team coming to Marvel Strike Force. What are they going to be used for? And I am almost done with blitzing because of this beta Ray Bill event. We're discussing all these things and more with my brother Pathfinder Gaming. Now, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Usually there's more news videos, question answer videos, gameplay videos, everything to help you in Marvel Strike Force. But without further ado, brother Pathfinder, how are you? You have went away and you are back, and I'm very happy you're back. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Things are good, and I'm excited to be back. I love the community, and there are just so many good people. And I missed you too, Valley. So I'm glad to see you.
I missed you, and you know what else I missed? I missed all your blitz squads, because I got to blitz a lot, and to find those ideal squads, and it takes a lot of creativity for me to make. But you got some awesome blitz squads that I'm going to be using, and I'm looking forward to your next save squad updates whenever you do that, so we don't have to grind as much. But hey, do you know what I did last night, Pathfinder?
No, what?
I unlocked a big boy apocalypse. I got lucky with one of these events. Got that 5 million drop of the ISO 8.5, and got a bunch of my characters up, and got that big boy apocalypse last night when we got the Bounty of Asgard rewards. And we got a video coming out later on what is my reactions to this big boy apocalypse. But we have an event going on right now that I'm a little worried about, Pathfinder. This Defender of Valhalla event. Now, to get all these items here, you're going to need 800,000 points. We are only 7 days left with this event, and I'm only at 467,000 points. I'm worried that I'm going to miss this. Where are you, and are you worried about missing these items?
Yeah, I'm actually further away than you are. I'm at 448. I don't know what I missed, but it definitely doesn't seem to be tracking in the right direction. I don't know if they just got the math wrong, or if it's not supposed to be completable.
So they said they're going to be like making leaderboards going away, things like that. I'm wondering, do you think that this shortness of scores were done on purpose, or are they going to do something and just give us a bunch of points for this at the end, like they've done in the past, which I think they've not calculated things done correctly in the past. This is the first one, though, since we've got some changes from the player's voice that went live. Do you think this is on purpose, that that a lot of people are going to miss, or this is just them not doing the numbers and not calculating things?
Man, I sure hopes it's not on purpose. I'm in general a very positive person, and I give that leads to giving them the benefit of the doubt in terms of Scopely. So I'm assuming that we'll get all the event items, and that they'll, make sure that all the players, if they've been doing their due diligence, will hit it. But I don't know. It's very far away. And with the 2 items left, you're not going to get close.
And not the Eternity's Cape, which is in the blitzing event, and not with the Twilight Sword. Those are only about 111,000 points. That's still a lot of points away.
Yeah.
So I don't know where all those gems are going to come from. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've never missed one before. I've always gotten all the monthly meta items. Gotten it twice during some of Blunder. But if this happens, this will be the first time I've missed it, and I'm not even close right now. So hopefully Scopely realizes their math error. This was unintended, and they corrected. They got a little over a week to do that at this point.
Yeah, hopefully they fix it and everybody can get those rewards, because there's some good rewards in there.
There are. I need a lot of that, those gear pieces, and I need more Val shards. I want to try to get into that showcase event. Now, the other thing that happened this week is this big time Spider-Man. We got him for raid rewards. I'm like 5 shards away from unlocking this character, but to me, he's a war defense character. War defense is like the least valuable teams in Marvel Strike Force just because you don't really see them, and the rewards for war isn't that great. Winning and losing, there's not too big of a difference with that. He's available for 800 cores for 5 shards, and also available in a dark promo credit store. Not available right now because it goes through that rotation, but is this character worth buying with either cores or dark promo credits, or both, or neither? Which one is it in your opinion?
Definitely not the cores, unless you are a whale or kraken. There is no reason to buy 5 shards for 800 cores. That's the worst value possible in this game. In terms of dark promos, I don't think Spider-Man Big Time is necessarily like horrible. Right now, it's so hard to judge a character based on 3 yellow stars. It's kind of like you unlock a random character at 3 yellow. They're not going to do that much for you. I feel like if you're a big war buff, you might do the reds on him, but I don't know if I do it over like Quicksilver or Zombie Iron Man. Certainly not characters like Red Hulk.
That was the next question. Zombie Iron Man for war offense or Big Time Spider-Man for war defense? If you had to use either, or if you had to use your dark promo credits on one or the other, which one would it be? War defense or war offense?
At this point, definitely Zombie Iron Man over Big Time. Just the value that he brings in war offense. He's so overpowered at low stars. And then he's even good outside of that, but I think Spider-Man Big Time will find uses eventually. But I don't know if I'd spend the dark promos at this current point.
Is Big Time Spider-Man a character people should be thinking about taking to Dark Dimension 6? I didn't see anything in the kit that made me think, oh, this is Dark Dimension 6 character. And did I miss anything, or is this a character that we should be avoiding for Dark Dimension 6?
I personally think he's okay for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's city, and city characters just in general are lacking. And then he's also tech, and there's not a lot of great tech choices. So if you're on the cusp of city and DD6, if you're one of those players, then I think he's not going to be the worst character, but I certainly don't think he's going to be world breaking or make DD6 easy.
So that's kind of that theory crafting. We could take either the cheaper characters with that tech tag, or we could have someone that's going to be great in Dark Dimension and give us value later. I like that we have the options there. I'm probably not going to do Big Time Spider-Man, but if that scenario does match up for you, you needing someone from City, you need someone got a lot of tech gear, that could be a good option there. We had another character come in Marvel Strike Force, the final member of the Bifrost team in Sylvie. Have you tried her in the game? I know you probably tried her in a test server, but have you tried her in the game? And if so, how much of a difference maker is she, even at these low star levels in the incursion rates right now?
Yeah, Sylvie is one of the linchpins of the team. She provides a lot of control. She provides a lot for the team, especially on that opening move where she just rewinds the entire opposing squad. I took a 670k Bifrost into incursion 1.5, and
oh my goodness,
they did totally fine. And I actually simmed all 3 of the nodes today at that level.
Simmed the nodes, man, with a, what did you say, 835 and
670k.
Wait, 600.
Yeah. So
my goodness,
it's only a 1-day test on the sim part, but they did sim all 3 nodes in 1.5.
Now,
so
how big was your Sylvie? You said she's the linchpin. Was she a pretty large Sylvie?
No.
That can carry
90k.
My goodness. So Val is most of the power in that team.
Yeah, my Vol is like 200k. She's G17.
Okay,
the rest of them
crazy.
Rest of them are level 80, G15. Not that big.
So handling it and fully saving, I like that. That's going to save some time.
Yep.
Now, what do you think her release method is going to be? The timing, and a lot of people are predicting she's going to be the next month-long milestone character, replacing Val for August. The timing seems to line up with that. Do you think she's going to be the next month-long character, or do you think it's going to be one of these new characters that we're going to talk about?
It would be weird for 2 members of one team to be month-long characters, so I guess I would assume Secret Defenders, but the month-long events are pretty generous most of the time with shards, so I wouldn't be mad that it would be 2 raid characters.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on this month with Val, but hopefully they do make that one right. They have been pretty generous. Now, I did buy Sylvie, and one of the deciding factors for me was this showcase event. We're getting some teal gear I thought it was a pretty good value. You're getting characters that I'm going to need anyway, and it's not as expensive as some of the other characters, and you're getting a bunch of teal gear. How much of a deciding factor was it with all this extra teal gear with these showcase events? Was it in your purchase of Sylvie?
So I actually did it for the blue 4 ISO. If you're unlocking Sylvie or already have her, the blue ISO 4 that's in the challenge, and then
so this one, the one that hasn't, the one actually did start yet.
Yeah, you can do that. So there's blue ISO 4 and the middle one. And then if you somehow manage to get all of them at 5 stars, which I think most people are not in that camp unless you've spent some money to do that, you will get a ton of blue 5 ISO as well. So it's definitely lucrative in terms of those rewards. I didn't really find the G17 pieces were nice in those events. So I do think it's worth, if you're gonna buy the character, if you're gonna build them up, do it quickly and reap the early rewards that you can.
Yeah, normally when they have these showcase events, it's the best to buy it on the first day because that's when you get the most of these showcase events. You could use this. Now, the thing that I was going to ask you what is this changing the story event, right? You just mentioned the middle difficulty. You're getting these ISO 5, and all you need for this middle difficulty is you need the Bifrost characters. You need them at tier 15. For this high difficulty, for the ISO 8.5, you need them not only at tier 15, but also 5 gold stars. We had some estimates on chat this morning, just think about how much it would be to get all them at 5 yellow stars. $300 was the estimate, and we've had a few people say, yeah, that's probably about right. So multiple sources saying about $300. You think $300 is worth it for these ISO 8.5s if you don't have Big Boy Apocalypse yet?
I'm gonna say no. I definitely don't think $300 is worth it. It's really just up to you, though. Can you afford to do it? Do you get enjoyment out of it? You have to consider those factors. But in terms of like, is anything worth value in this game? No. But I think it just depends on how much time you spend, how much enjoyment you get for the money that you're putting in, and obviously never buy something in a game like this unless you can afford to do it.
Yeah, I think that enjoyment factor that you mentioned is the key. Is spending that $300 and getting those ISO 5s going to give you that much enjoyment of the game? And everybody's answer is going to be different. But if the answer is yes for you, then yeah. But I think for myself, the answer would be no, even if I didn't have that Big Boy Apocalypse. Just it seems a little out of my price range. Yeah. Now, let's go to the Blitz. Let's talk about the blitzing. This is the event that everybody is doing. How burned out on blitzing are you right now?
So for me personally, not very much at all, because I tend to, if I set an alarm and then like the day goes by, I have meetings, all of that stuff, I usually just forget. So okay. I haven't been that burnt out by it, but I definitely would be.
You set the alarms, but you ignore them sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I forget about them, or I forget to set them.
Gotcha. I don't even set them sometimes, but yeah, I've been blitzing a lot. At 86,000 right now. Where we need to get is 135 for this big meta item, but it may not even matter if we're not going to get all those points for that milestone event. How many fragments have you been averaging if you've been keeping track per rotation and per blitz rotation?
Yeah, I think at this point I'm getting around an orb and a half from each rotation. The blitz rotations I've done, combined with the other stuff we're getting from like the milestones, the daily claims, I've been getting roughly 10 orbs a day, and that's probably only on like 4 rotations maybe at this point. So if you're doing a lot more, you're probably getting a lot more orbs.
Well, when I spoke to Archangel before the blog for this event went live, he said this event was based on spending 200 power cores a day and getting 170 blitz wins per day. That should get you the meta item. So if you are doing that, you should be getting the meta item. Now, you may not even unlock Beta Ray Bill because the orb is pretty low in terms of shards. Let's talk about this orb real quick, because I've gotten a lot of 2s. I don't think I've gotten any of those big drops. How have your drops been with this? Have you gotten any of these big 25 drops, this 0.38% chance, or are you like myself and getting pretty much all 2s on this?
I've had 1 10, and the rest are 2s. Rest are 2s.
Nice. Nice. And that's kind of a way to think about these orbs. That's the way I'm thinking about these orbs and blitzing in the past. Every blitz rotation, you're getting about 1.5. I'm just, in my mind, I'm calculating 1. So every blitz rotation is 2 shards. So that's what I'm thinking with this blitz. Every time I blitz, every time I go rotation, 2 more Beta Ray Bill shards, 2 less shards that I'm going to need to get and find later on. And that's how I think about these. Is that a helpful way to think about this for you, or do you like to think about these blitzes a little differently?
I think that's a good way to think about it, and I think it also goes back to the point earlier of, you know, how much time do you want to spend in the game, and how high do you want your Beta Ray Bill to be? If you're happy with where he is, then maybe you just say, I'll get the item and I'll go on my way. If you want to get Beta Ray Bill as high as possible, then do those rotations.
Yeah, I'm gonna do those rotations. I also have stuff to do, so sometimes I miss some, but yeah, I'm trying to try for as much as possible. And yeah, it's all about the time. If you got the time, if it's worth it, the 5 minutes for you to blitz for 2 Beta Ray Bill shards, then do it. If it's not worth it for you, it's 2 shards you're probably missing out on. Unless you're a really lucky person and can get some of these stuff. All right, in addition to what we have going on with this Thor event, and in addition to all these blitzing, we got some web milestones for this. Now, you weren't able to double dip on that first day, because as you could still get these apples for the previous event, you could also get these worthy web warrior milestones, getting some of these orb fragments, the Corbinite orb fragments for Beta Ray Bill. And it's all screwy right now. If we look right now, not only did they launch it early, right now we have 2 of these worthy warriors going on. A couple days ago, we had none of them around, and all the points that I was using, I didn't notice. It wasn't counting, and I still haven't got compensated for that yet. I know some compensation went out to some players yesterday. I didn't get anything. What are they gonna do about this? And I guess it's a good thing overall, because we're getting more of these Corbinite orb fragments. But have you missed out on some of these points? Did you miss that day that we didn't get scored in these web milestones for the energy that you spent?
I don't think I was really that affected by it. Usually when reset happens, when they change over stuff, events start, I'm usually with my family. So I don't tend to either reap benefits or miss out on things. So for me, it didn't, but I know a lot of people were affected by it.
Yeah, it was a weird one. Yeah. But I think the overall net sum of it is we're getting more of these Corbinite orb fragments from all their screw ups, which could get you more points in the event and make it easier to unlock Beta Ray Bill. And continuing with these screw ups, the Bounty of Asgard event. It was extended by 1 day, and that's because they had some issues with the apples going out. They weren't awarding the correct amount of apples when it started. They wanted to send out the compensation, and they said just to extend this, players will be able to spend apples they've already earned and were given in compensation, because some of the compensation went out late, and they extended the event 1 day. Now, you couldn't get more apples with this. You couldn't buy in a store. You couldn't earn it through the campaign charts, but you could still earn it or you could still spend it and have it count towards the milestone. What did you think of this Bounty of Asgard event with the rewards? We had some nice ranking rewards, but even without being in the top 500, not getting that 5-star Apocalypse, you still got some ISO 8.5, and this is what I used to get that Boy Apocalypse, even if it's the top 10%. How did you finish on this, and did you like the store and all the apples that we got?
I loved the store. I thought that there were a lot of different things that were valuable that you could choose from, whether you wanted to progress more for DD6, whether you wanted to get more shards for characters. I used it largely to gear up more on my Apocalypse. I finally finished all the mutant characters that we needed to get him to, big boy status. And so I took him from G16 to G17, and I'm like halfway to G18 now. So I use this event to farm gear, and especially that G17 gear from the milestone. And I think I finished top 1%. So I did okay on the event, and I thought the store was great. I would love to see more of these types of events going forward.
Did you buy mainly gear, or did you also get character shards as well?
I bought almost all gear until like the last day, and I was short on G18 stuff, so I bought a couple of the character shards with the apples.
Oh, I screwed up on this. I bought some character shards. It's like, oh, the event's pretty much over. I'm just going to spend it all. when it gets extended, the very next thing that pops in my store is the mini uniques for Apocalypse, those astral energy, which I'm very, very short. I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't spend it. So I got kind of, I wish I spent it a little more wisely, but overall, I enjoyed the store as well. There's a lot of good things to buy in there. Their dark promo credits, Elite 6 orbs, is really, really good stuff in there. So good stuff. Now, when they did change the event, I do want to ask, did that change your ranking at all? I know for some players, it changed their ranking dramatically. Some fell out of that top 500. Did this, and you said you finished inside the top 1%. Did that change your ranking when they extended the day? Because I know some people moved up and some people moved down when it was extended.
No, I was at like 1100 when the event ended, and I maybe dropped like 100 spots, and it didn't affect the ranking at all.
Okay.
So no.
I know there was someone in my alliance that finished just inside the top 500. We were looking at that 501 player. I'm like, man, that person missed it by like 20 points. That must be really, really bad. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. This is
why it's so important to get stuff right the first time, Scopely, because these types of experiences are what drives players away.
Yeah, and I would have got my big boy Apocalypse a day earlier if it wasn't extended today. And it was the only reason extended day because the screw ups on the first day. So anyway, off my soapbox here, let's talk about Beta Ray Bill, because in this blog post here, Beta Ray Bill also got his event extended, his showcase event extended, so you could get more of this teal gear stuff. How much more teal gear were you able to get with this event being extended?
Not a whole lot, because the drops are pretty bad. But I kept farming it. You know, it's more gold. There is a chance for for gear to drop, but it wasn't a whole lot, unfortunately.
Why do you think that extended this? Do you think it was because the Beta Ray Bill, the player that finished Dark Dimension 6 and is getting all this cool stuff, or it's just a coincidence that the first player that beat Dark Dimension 6, the largest account in the game, is also named Beta Ray Bill?
I kind of think that they launched the event earlier than they probably should have, or maybe they started the Blitz later than they were expecting to, because I think a lot of people probably are only just now unlocking him. So especially free to play. So yeah. I kind of wonder if they just wanted to give those people a little bit more time to get in there and do it.
Is it possible to unlock Beta Ray Bill by this point in the event if you had not purchased him?
I think you would be close, because we're about halfway through. So if you've been really blitzing your butt off, I think you'd probably unlock him by now.
Okay. I hope players unlocked him and can enjoy a lot of this teal gear stuff for free, because everybody needs all this stuff. We also got Nemesis Farmable this week. Went to the Cosmic Crucible store. How good of a character is this now? I know if you don't have Apocalypse, you need to build up this character for Apocalypse. Also very valuable in the Death Seed and Incursion raids. Does he have more value than just these Incursion raids, though?
I think so. I think Nemesis is a great character. I think he should be strongly considered for DD6, because every attack he does is a health steal. I know that some people don't necessarily agree with that because they think he's a little on the flimsy side, but he's a key part of that Death Seed team. So
now what I was thinking for Dark Dimension 6, he's doing 10% health, so it's percent-based damage. This is why we love Minerva all those years back. She did that 10%. She did that percent-based damage, and the ultimate also stealing 10%. So percent-based damage. So it doesn't matter how big the enemies are. 10% off the ultimate, 10% off the special. I think that's what makes him a good candidate. What are the negatives about him other than being squishy? Is there any other downside to bringing Nemesis into Dark Dimension 6?
He is very slow. So you have to keep that in mind. He's not going to be going very fast. So take characters who can support him in getting speed up or getting turn bar. Those types of characters will help Nemesis do more for you in DD6.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about this speed, but yeah, if you need a character, mutant section, global section, Nemesis, I think is a great pick. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. There's a new team coming to Marvel Strike Force. We got the announcement that we're getting an A-Force rework, turning into the Secret Defenders. Captain Marvel, Jessica Jones, Nico, Spider-Woman, all look like they're going to be part of this War Offense team. Is that what you're thinking for this secret defenders? Are they going to be more war offense? Do you think they have other things? And what are you going to do with your Captain Marvel, Jessica Jones, Nico, Spider-Woman? Are you building them up right now in anticipation for this rework coming?
I already have a force decently built for war. I enjoy war, so I have them more built than probably a lot of people. I'm really hoping that the secret defenders are, a team that can like fill gaps in some of the holes for teams that aren't completely full. A-Force being one of them, something like, the Secret Avengers with Cap Sam and Maria and Sharon. That's only a 3-piece team. You have teams like X Factor that's only 4. I think it would be super cool to have characters be able to like plug and play. But that's probably asking for too much from Scopely at this point. But I think that would be amazing.
They did say they wanted to bring theory crafting back and agency back to the players from the response from the player's voice. So maybe we're getting options here with this. I would like it if they did that.
I think that would be amazing.
I would as well. Now, we did get more silhouettes. I love these silhouettes. I love guessing. We got the same day that we got this A-Force announced. So this is what the silhouettes look like. I know we got a bunch of guesses, but I think the guesses become very obvious as you increase the brightness to this picture. My guess is last week, Captain Marvel here, Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes version, the one with the car, not the one with the motorcycle, Spectrum or Photon, one version of Monica Rambeau. This looks very much like Black Cat here, and Ronin is the pick here. Is that who your guesses are leaning towards? And what do you think this team could be? I mean, one of these are probably going to be a secret defender. I don't know what the relationship with the rest of these characters are. I mean, Photon, Spectrum, and Captain Marvel, but the rest of these characters, not sure. What could this mean? And who do you think they are? Do you like the guesses that I had, or do you think it could be someone else?
I definitely like the guesses that you have. I think that as time went on, as we looked more at the silhouettes and like the increasing of the exposure on the images, definitely revealed, Ronin is obvious to me, Black Cat, and we have data mines on her now, so it's all up in the air on terms of what they're going to be. But yes, I really, really, really hope that it's trying to fill gaps in teams that are missing characters. That's my hope for these characters, at least.
That would be really, really good. Now, we've got an infestation team, a war team. It looks like the Secret Defenders is going to be another war team. So we've gotten a few different war teams. Do you think the rest of these characters coming in the next patch could possibly be Crucible, or they're going to be more war teams? I don't think this is going to be a tech raid team. I don't think it's going to be a raid team, but do you think there's going to be Crucible or more war stuff with this team?
Either would be great. I think more war offense is helpful, especially when you're the top war alliances are trying to compete with the big Krakens, and G18 has become more of a problem in those game modes, especially as you get more G18 characters. So I think it'd be great to fill slots in war offense. If they do another Crucible offense team, I would love to see them expand the amount of rooms, because it's getting to the point where we have more to be able to use than we can really, we have too many characters, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if it's another Crucible team, I would love to see them expand the rooms.
Yes, I would as well. Now, Mitch, I do want to come back to Black Cat, but mentioning Cosmic Crucible, we know that the season for Cosmic Crucible is ending very, very soon. It is ending in 8 days, which means that there's one more week of this season 3 in Cosmic Crucible. How excited for season 4 are you, knowing that we're gonna have a lot more theory crafting? We're not gonna have that cadence where it's just moving down the rooms. It's gonna have options for us. How excited for this are you?
I am excited, but I'm trying to temper my excitement to not be let down too much. Okay, I believe them at their word, because they've said they want to get away from one team going into one specific defense. So I'm hopeful that the rooms are fun and engaging, and that we can have more than just one team go in a specific room to get countered by another team. So I'm really excited.
I am as well. Now, they did say they wanted to do 2 things with this, right? They wanted to give our teams that we've invested in keep the value. So Wakandans Masters of Evil, some of these other Crucible teams, they wanted to have it keep its value, so that we're not just investing in nothing, but also wanted to bring that theory crafting back, bring options back, bring room rules that were reminiscent of the Ultimate 32. What do you think we're gonna see here? What do you think are gonna be the new meta teams? Do you think Wakandas are still gonna be in the meta? Masters of Evil still in the meta? Some other team is gonna shine? What do you think they're gonna do? What are your predictions for this before we get the announcements within less than a week or within a week?
Yeah, I mean, Masters of Evil will just become the kind of like master key team. Whatever defense is the strongest, you're probably going to use Masters of Evil to counter. It's not just going to have to be Wakanda, because MOE is still definitely the best Crucible offense team at this point. So New Warriors definitely have a lot of good viability as well to clear things fast. I'm hoping to see more like in general trait based rooms, like, you know, maybe you have a cosmic room or a bio room where characters of that trait get buffs depending on what's in there. So I would love to see more things like that. The Beta Ray Bill rework, you know, trying to bring back theory crafting and characters that can be more plug and play outside of their game mode is all a positive thing, and I hope they continue in that direction.
I do as well. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm done with this season. I'm trying to get as high as I can in the rankings because I know we're going to drop when the next season starts. And hopefully we have another Ultimate 32 because that was pretty fun that came back. But let's move back to this screenshot here. I want to talk about the next legendary character coming. We have some data mines here that says that next week's or tomorrow's blog is going to cover the next legendary, the details on the next legendary character. But if we move up to what that blog says, it says, Meow, that's a legend. And the only character on this shot here that it possibly could be Meow is Black Cat. So I think Black Cat is the next legendary. We're going to get the kits, all the information tomorrow. We're getting more information about the Defender of Valhalla event. So hopefully that is some gems of Cyttorak that's going to fill up that and make us complete that event, the month-long milestone event. And the showcase event rundown, I thought we had information about that, so I'm not sure if this is regarding last week's blog or not, but the rest of the stuff we didn't really have information on. Is Black Cat, in your mind, strong enough in the Marvel universe and the Marvel lore to be a legendary character? I mean, I was questioning when we got Shuri back in the day. Black Cat, though, I think is not as strong as Shuri, so this is a weird choice for legendary if that is if this data mine comes true. What is your opinion on Black Cat as a legendary?
Yeah, so you got Shuri over Black Panther. You have like Jubilee over some other potential characters that you could have used.
Jubilee was a weird one as well. Yeah.
So in terms of, you know, the character, it aligns with how Scopely has done things in the past of a character that, you know, isn't necessarily a legendary like Marvel universe character.
What is her powers? What powers does she have? I thought she just like dumps around.
Apparently she has the power to steal things really well, and she also has some like lucky traits. I think so there's some stuff there. I definitely don't consider her to be like a legendary character.
That's a weird choice, honestly. She doesn't even seem like a strong character. I mean, we got Thanos as a non-legendary. Yeah. We got Dormammu, all these characters non-legendary. Kang, but
I think her claim to fame,
legendary character.
I think her claim to fame is like seducing Spider-Man or something. I could be wrong.
That's why she's a legendary. She got the seduction of Spider-Man down. Gotcha. All right. We also had an event come back for the final time, and that is the Rogue event. We go in the game right now. It is live right now, and I've not done these yet. Have you done this Rogue Famine yet? And if not, are you going to do it?
I will do it because free rewards is free rewards. I definitely haven't done it yet.
Do you need a lot of these rewards? I'm looking at my inventory. There's not a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh, I need this right now.
The only thing I always want more of are those augmented catalysts because the teal,
this thing here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because once you start G18, taking characters to G18, it starts to become very expensive. I've heard up to like 2,000 of them for a character.
Okay.
So that's probably my only reason for doing it at this point, is trying to get more of those.
All right, that's a good point. I haven't taken any characters guillotine. I got a big surplus right now, but maybe not in the future once I start getting ready for Dark Dimension 6. So I'll probably do this. We do have 2 days, so it does bleed into the weekend, so that's a good thing. I did my Morgan Le Fay with an hour to go on this, so I'll probably push this off to the very end. But this is the last time that we're getting this, as we know, with these ranking rewards, with these leaderboards. When it comes back, it's going to come back in a different fashion. And what we saw from the data mines, we haven't heard this officially, but what we saw the data mines, at least about the Morgan Le Fay event, is that it's going to be a star level per score. So if you attain a certain score, you get a certain star level. You attain a score higher than that at the next threshold, you get the next star level. Any other predictions on how this is going to work? Any predictions on how this is going to work exactly? And if new players are going to get more shards as a result of this change?
Man, I don't want to say that they'll get more shards because I don't have that much confidence.
I hope they do.
But I hope that it's as easy as it is now to get them, because the 100 shard unlocks have been very good for the game, unlocking a legendary character sooner. Being able to, do like a difficulty 4 with a lot of scourges, and you don't need your characters to be crazy good to unlock them. I hope it stays in that style, and I hope they come around more often.
That's the big thing. I hope they come around more often, because I don't think they're making a lot of money from those horseman orbs.
No.
The horseman orbs don't go for sale a lot, so I don't think, it doesn't indicate that they're making a ton of money. So I don't know why they're holding this back, but hopefully with this new format that comes, we can see these come around more often, and newer players will have access to these horsemen quicker, because that's what I want. I want new players to catch up to the end game as soon as possible, and I hope that helps with this. Now, I do want to ask you about 2 new teams. I'll pull up one of them here, because there's a question about war and war defense. So which do you think is better? Let's talk about this one first. Bifrost on war defense. I've seen this. I got my thoughts. What are your thoughts on this team? On war defense or hybrids of this with the hero Asgardians? How do you handle these guys?
At this point, I'm using like a Weapon X team on this, and having pretty easy of a time. But I haven't seen like massive beta ray builds on this team, and if that makes a difference. So that's kind of a counter that we've been using. I know that if you use like the Eternals, it still can definitely work, though it's a little more difficult.
That's still my favorite. That's still my favorite. The Eternals just smashing everybody in 3 moves. Eternals and Loki.
But we tend to save Eternals for like gamma cleanup, stuff like that. So I've been using Weapon X, and it's been working just fine.
How is Hela and Zombie Iron Man working for you with this team, or a hybrid with the hero Asgardians? Because that's my second favorite matchup.
I actually haven't tried that, so I assume it would work well. I tend to use Undying on gamma cleanups or on Darkhold with Apoc, but I have to imagine it would work fine.
All right, so this one questionable. I think a lot of the old counters, at least at the levels that I've seen, still work. Let's move on to this next one, the Knowhere team. Supposed to be for war offense, but I know some people are placing us on war defense. What is your result when you see a Knowhere team? Are you just smashing them very easily, or are they trickier than you initially thought when you see these?
Man, I don't think I've seen a Knowhere team on defense where I'm at in war right now. I think that with the teams that are currently on defense where we're at, I think Knowhere is too valuable on offense, but I think Knowhere counters Knowhere pretty easily. So if you use Knowhere to counter Knowhere, I think that's fine, but I would rather keep them for offense.
On chat this morning, there was a few people saying that they have placed their Knowhere on defense, and it's gotten a lot of sneaky wins. Their suspicion is that most people don't know how to tackle this team or what to tackle this team because they're so rare on defense. Just because the rarity and like no one really has a lot of experience fighting this team when it's on defense. You think just that alone makes this a strong war defense team? If maybe you have enough for offense, you have the 10 teams you could do your attack, and Knowhere's your 11th team. Should you be placing that on defense and just trying to get some sneaky defensive wins?
I definitely think depending where you're at, it could work. But I think they're just too valuable. on offense to play some on defense right now, especially if you're not full clearing. I would rather full clear than not.
Yeah, better rewards for full and clearing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, that's kind of it for Marvel Strike Force, but I wanted to move on to the MCU. Now, I know you have not seen Secret Invasion. We were talking before this, so there's going to be no spoilers because you haven't seen it, but the season finale came out yesterday. I haven't watched it yet. Usually we wait till Thursday or Friday as a family to watch this, but this is what this says here. Secret Invasion finale becomes the worst rated MCU episode ever with an unlucky score. Secret Invasion delivered its finale on Wednesday and became the lowest rated MCU episode ever. I think it's supposed to be ever, not every. Secret Invasion was originally announced several years ago to mass excitement among Marvel fans. Now, you have not seen this. Why have you chosen not to watch Secret Invasion?
I think for me, I'm just kind of burnt out on all of the shows and movies that they're doing. And a lot of the stuff I've seen recently hasn't been that great. And so I'm just not excited about watching Marvel movies right now. I think that the direction they've headed in, the stories are kind of bland. Some of them have been great. Like I thought the Loki show was okay. I thought Captain America was okay with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. A lot of the stuff I've seen lately just hasn't lived up to what the MCU was before during the Thanos saga.
What was the last thing you watched? What was the thing that was the final straw for you? Said this is just not where it used to be. I don't like this.
She-Hulk was it for me.
Oh man, I like that show. So you didn't see the Marvels or Miss Marvel?
I didn't even see that. No,
I didn't like that one. I like pretty much everyone, every other series on a varying degree. Secret Invasion, I've liked it, but I've fallen asleep every single episode. So there's some shows that I fall asleep in and like, that's a good show. I want to go back and watch it. Some shows I watch like, oh, that's not a good show. I don't need to watch it. This one, I'm like, this is a good show, but I keep falling asleep. So I don't know what that says about me or Secret Invasion. Do you plan to go back and watch this, or with this low rating and not being the only one that hasn't watched this, is this something that you're going to just wait on, or what are your plans for this?
I may go back and watch because, I do like the premise of the Secret Invasion series, like the comic series and all that. So I think it's going to be something I go back and watch eventually. But if I don't like it, I'll just stop.
Nice. All right. Well, I hope if you do go back and watch it, you do enjoy it. But that is about it for us. Any other final thoughts on Marvel Strike Force, MCU, or anything else Marvel related that you want to discuss before we end the video?
No, I mean, just have fun and enjoy the game and enjoy the people, and just take it one day at a time. You don't have to burn out on this game. Just do what you can and have fun. Enjoy it.
Yeah, because it's a game. It's a game. You should have fun with it. And if you're not having fun, like you weren't having fun a while ago, then maybe it's time for a break, and then you can come back. And I hope it sounds like you're having fun again after that break. So that is a good thing. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thank you for everything, Pathfinder. And if you guys want to check out his channel, give it a subscribe. The links are going to be down below. His YouTube and his Twitch channel does some awesome content. And I'm looking forward to the next time you do that Blitz save squads, because I'm going to copy them exactly. Thanks for watching, though, guys. I will see you guys next time. If you want to check out what are the best arena teams to use right now, make sure you check out the video up there, and have a great rest of your day. Are you ready for the Hulk fist bump, Mr. Pathfinder?
You know it. I'm always ready.
All right, let's do it. Hulk fist bump. Pathfinder Gaming, ValleyFlyin out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.